December 5th, 1872, the North Atlantic. Gray water heaves against the horizon. A Canadian brigantine, the Dei Gratia, makes steady headway when a lookout spies a ship ahead. She is under full sail, leaning slightly, her course wandering. The vessel is the Mary Celeste. She should be thriving, her master and crew bustling across the deck. But as the Dei Gratia closes the distance, no figures appear. No signal flags rise. The Mary Celeste seems alive and dead at once, a phantom moving under her own power. Captain David Morehouse, a friend of the Mary Celeste's commander, raises his spyglass. The sails are taut, but the wheel spins free. She is drifting. Something is wrong, terribly wrong. A boarding party rows across. They grip their lines, climb her rail, and step onto the deck. Silence greets them. The timbers groan, ropes creak, but there is no human sound. Cabins stand unlocked. The galley contains food untouched. A sewing machine waits mid-stitch. In the captain's cabin, the furniture is neat, his wife's clothes folded. Even their little daughter's doll lies abandoned. Yet the people are gone. Every soul has vanished. The ship's logbook stops abruptly 10 days earlier. The lifeboat is missing. A sextant and chronometer, both crucial for navigation, are nowhere to be found. But the cargo, 1,701 barrels of alcohol, remains. Only a few show signs of leakage. There is no evidence of fire, no signs of battle, no blood. The Mary Celeste is sound. She is abandoned without reason. To understand this mystery, we must rewind. The Mary Celeste was built in Nova Scotia in 1861, first named the Amazon. She was considered unlucky from the beginning. Her first captain died on his maiden voyage, and later she collided with another ship. After a series of misfortunes, she was sold to American owners and renamed Mary Celeste. She passed through many hands, each seeming eager to be rid of her. By 1872, she came under the command of Captain Benjamin Briggs, a respected seaman known for discipline, sobriety, and his deep religious faith. Briggs was not sailing alone. His wife, Sarah, and their 2-year-old daughter, Sophia, joined the voyage. Unusual, but Briggs considered this a safe trip across the Atlantic. Alongside them were 7 sailors, experienced men with no record of mutiny or unrest. Together, 10 souls set out from New York City on November 7th, 1872, bound for Genoa, Italy. Their cargo was volatile, but carefully packed. The ship was seaworthy. By all accounts, it should have been an ordinary crossing. The voyage begins smoothly. November winds fill the canvas. The Mary Celeste makes steady time east. Captain Briggs writes brief, orderly entries, positions, weather, nothing alarming. On November 24th, the log notes they've reached the Azores latitude. Squalls slip through, the kind that slap a deck and are gone. Then, a final entry. November 25th, 8 a.m., sighting of the island of Santa Maria. After that, silence. 10 days later, she is found drifting, a ghost on blue water. What happened between those dates? The ocean can turn in minutes, but the evidence argues against catastrophe. The hull is solid. The rigging stands. Rations remain. If the captain ordered an evacuation, it was not the result of a wrecking blow. It was a decision. Urgent, but measured. to leave a seaworthy ship. Why? Look closer at the scene. The ship's pump is partly disassembled, as if someone was checking for water in the bilge. Some charts are damp. The forehatch is open. A few barrels of alcohol have leaked. Alcohol is volatile. Its fumes can swell, hiss, and frighten. Imagine a sudden whump in the hold. A cold explosion. A blast of air that slams but leaves little flame. No scorch marks on deck, no char. A terrifying sound, yet little physical damage. A cautious captain might choose a temporary abandonment, move crew and family into the boat, secure a tow line to the ship, and ride out the danger. If true, the plan depended on a single rope in a restless sea, a parted line, a gust of wind, a widening gap, and the Mary Celeste sails on without them. Consider the people at the heart of this choice. Benjamin Briggs, 37, respected, devout, meticulous. He writes tenderly to his mother before sailing, confident in the voyage, proud of his command. Sarah Briggs, practical, supportive, a mariner's wife used to the roll of decks and the ache of separations. Little Sophia, 2 years old, bright, curious. The crew, German, American, Danish. Competent hands with clean records and good references. No known feuds. No talk of mutiny. Wages were fair. Cargo, valuable. This was not a ship simmering with anger. If a choice was made that morning near the Azores, it was almost certainly Briggs's. And it was about safety, not conspiracy. Enter the Dei Gratia. Captain Morehouse, recognizing the vessel and its course, dispatches his men to sail the prize to Gibraltar. There, the Admiralty Court opens an inquiry. Was this a fraud? An insurance scheme? Did the Dei Gratia crew stage the abandonment to claim salvage? Suspicion rises quickly. Proof does not. Surveyors inspect every plank. They note small cuts and scrapes, ordinary scars of a working ship, later sensationalized as axe marks. They test the pumps, measure the water in the bilge, examine the cargo. The court finds no conclusive evidence of foul play. Salvage is awarded, modest, not extravagant, an acknowledgement that the Dei Gratia acted lawfully. The mystery does not end in a courtroom. Theories bloom like storm clouds. Pirates? Impossible. No theft of valuables, no ransacked cabins. Mutiny? Against whom and for what? There is no blood, no smashed furniture, no drunken chaos. Sea monster? A century's fancy, but offers no evidence. A waterspout or rogue wave? Perhaps a soaking, a scare. But the standing rig and intact hull argue against total panic. The alcohol fumes hypothesis persists because it fits the facts. Leaking barrels, anxious inspection, a fearful sound in the hold. Imagine Briggs ordering, "Everyone into the boat. We stand off till the danger passes." They secure a line to the ship. The sea worries the rope. A squall claws the sails. The line parts. The boat falls astern, vanishing into rain and distance, while the Mary Celeste, obedient to wind alone, glides onward, indifferent and empty. Imagine the desperation. A lifeboat meant for short transfers, not an ocean crossing. 10 people crammed inside. Men, a woman, a child. They drift, waiting for calm, expecting to rejoin their ship. Then the moment comes when the Mary Celeste edges away, sails filling, until she is just a fading shadow, a nightmare of helplessness. The ocean takes them, and no record remains. Yet for some, that explanation feels unsatisfying, too ordinary. A ghost ship demands a ghostly cause, and so the legend of the Mary Celeste begins to grow. The newspaper seize the story. Headlines scream of the cursed vessel, abandoned in mystery. Journalists embellish: bloody weapons, murderous crew, phantom killers. Fiction authors twist the facts further. In one sensational account, every man aboard goes mad from drinking the alcohol cargo, slaughtering one another. None of it true, but the public is hooked. The Mary Celeste becomes less a ship and more a stage for imagination. This transformation from fact to myth cements her place in maritime lore. When a ship is found afloat and deserted, sailors say, "Another Mary Celeste." She is the template for the ghost ship. But the real vessel sails on. After the inquiry, the Mary Celeste is refitted and put back to work. Her name brings unease. Crew are reluctant to sign on. Voyages follow, but luck never improves. She earns little profit, changes owners frequently, and drags a curse-like reputation wherever she goes. In 1885, her final captain deliberately wrecks her off Haiti in an insurance scam. The ship is lost to reefs and fire, but the legend survives, larger than any fraud or court case. It is not the wreck that people remember. It is the day she was found, drifting, alive with silence. Let's return to Gibraltar, to the men of the Admiralty Court. They study the facts. A vessel seaworthy, cargo mostly intact, crew missing. They test the bilge water. Minimal. They study the log. Routine. They question the de Gracia sailors. Consistent. Every box is ticked, every explanation ordinary, and yet the whole remains extraordinary. A ship does not sail itself for 10 days through storm and squall. Someone chose to leave her, and every theory, piracy, mutiny, natural disaster, or accident requires a leap of faith. The Mary Celeste rests in a space between logic and the unknown. One detail lingers in the minds of investigators: the barrels. 9 of them made from red oak, more porous than white oak, found empty or leaking. Was it the slow seep of fumes that led Briggs to fear explosion? Did he smell it, hear it, sense a danger invisible to his crew? Picture him, pacing, weighing his family's safety against his ship and cargo. He is not reckless. He is not careless. He is cautious, perhaps too cautious. One command: lower the boat quickly now. And history changes forever. Theories sprout like weeds across the years. Some insist on mutiny. The crew overpowered Briggs, stole the boat, and perished later. Yet what would they gain? No valuables were missing, no cargo looted. Others whisper of pirates. But the 1870s Atlantic was quiet. No marauding fleets roamed the shipping lanes. And again, why leave the alcohol untouched? Why leave gold watches and jewelry? Pirates take treasure. The Mary Celeste kept hers. As explanations fall away, stranger ones rise. A sea monster dragging men overboard, a waterspout that descended like the fist of God, even alien abduction. Modern imaginations reading their own fears into the past, the truth remains slippery, like water through hands. One compelling idea is human error, dressed in bad luck. Suppose Briggs believed his vessel was sinking. Charts damp, bilge damp, pumps unreliable. He fears they are taking on water faster than he can measure. Add the leaking alcohol and the imagined threat of explosion. He chooses evacuation. It makes sense, until the plan unravels in minutes. If so, the Mary Celeste is not cursed, not haunted, not supernatural. She is the stage of a single human misjudgment, yet paradoxically, it is this very ordinariness, this simple mistake, that makes her so haunting. A captain's caution becomes the world's mystery. Decades later, writers ensure the Mary Celeste never sinks from memory. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle pens a sensational tale in 1884 describing a phantom ship, Mary Celeste, with every soul murdered. His fiction twists fact into legend so effectively that many mistake it for truth. Newspapers reprint it. The public devours it. From then on, truth and imagination are hopelessly entangled. The Mary Celeste becomes a ghost ship, not because she was one, but because people needed her to be one. A mystery, unresolved, serves as a mirror. In her empty decks, readers and sailors see their own fears, the sea's indifference, the fragility of order, the thin rope holding human lives together. Even modern science cannot fully untangle the knot. In 2006, researchers simulate alcohol vapor explosions in a controlled chamber. They find that a pressure wave can indeed rattle timbers and terrify without leaving scorch marks. It is a test that breathes new life into the old theory. But proof? No. The experiment explains possibility, not certainty. What it does show is that Briggs may have been right to fear. He smelled danger, acted swiftly, but fate twisted his caution into tragedy. The Mary Celeste becomes a monument to decision under pressure, a decision that proved fatal. The wreck in Haiti ends her story, but not her legend. Even burned and broken, she sails on in imagination. She is invoked when ships vanish. She is referenced in ghost tales and seafarers' lore. The phrase Mary Celeste becomes shorthand for any vessel found abandoned. But beneath the exaggeration lies the beating heart of the mystery. 10 souls, a family, a crew, who slipped quietly into the ocean and were never seen again. We know their names, their faces in faded portraits, their handwriting in the ship's log. They were real, they lived, and then they were gone. Sailors whisper that the Mary Celeste carried a curse. From her first days as the Amazon, bad luck clung to her. Collision, fire, sudden deaths. Superstition thrives at sea, where every creak in the timbers can sound like fate knocking. When she was found deserted, men said, of course, she was cursed from the start. But curses are stories we tell to give shape to fear. They explain the unexplainable, soothe the ache of randomness. The Mary Celeste needs no curse. The plain facts are strange enough. Others look at the captain himself. Benjamin Briggs was devout, deeply religious, sometimes described as stern. Could he have been overcome by fear, convinced that Providence demanded he flee the vessel? Did faith cloud judgment? There is no evidence of madness, no diary hinting at despair. But speculation finds easy soil when answers are absent. His wife and child make the tragedy sharper. Sarah's letters speak of a calm, ordinary journey. Sophia, only 2 years old, plays with her doll as the Atlantic heaves. Then, silence. Theories can argue about fumes and waves, but the human loss is simple, irreversible. Consider the loneliness of the Atlantic in 1872. No radios, no satellites, just ships scattered across thousands of miles, each a small island of wood and canvas. If disaster struck a lifeboat, no one would ever know. The ocean is vast enough to erase whole stories without a trace. The absence of evidence becomes the evidence itself. No wreckage, no bodies, no survivors. Only a ship, abandoned yet unbroken. The Mary Celeste is a silence made visible. Investigators have returned again and again, searching for certainty. Each generation reshapes the story. Pirates for the Victorians, curses for the superstitious, aliens for the modern. The mystery becomes a mirror of its age, reflecting what people fear most. And still, through archives, through science, through endless speculation, one fact endures. Not a single definitive answer has ever been found. The case remains open, not to courts or navies, but to imagination. Picture it now. You are a sailor on the Dei Gratia. You climb the rail of the drifting ship. You step into silence. The wheel turns without hands. A cup lies on its side, coffee long dried. A doll stares from the cabin. The sails snap and fill, but no voices answer. Every sense tells you something is wrong, something unnatural. You shout. The echoes die. You realize the truth. The Mary Celeste is not unmanned. She is crewed by absence, and that absence is louder than screams. In the end, the Mary Celeste is less about what happened and more about what didn't happen. She didn't sink. She wasn't looted. She wasn't burned. She was simply left. A decision made, a rope cast, a line broken. That is all. Yet from that moment, a legend was born. A ghost ship needs no ghosts. It needs only silence, unanswered questions, and the imagination of those left behind. And so the Mary Celeste sails still, not on oceans, but in stories, forever adrift, forever empty. To sailors, the sea is never conquered. It is only endured. The story of the Mary Celeste reminds us how quickly control can slip away. One decision, one rope, one gust of wind, and 10 lives are erased. The mystery clings because it feels both possible and impossible. It could happen to anyone who sails. A chain of tiny, ordinary events, yet the outcome is extraordinary. In maritime lore, abandoned ships appear from time to time, but none carry the same weight as the Mary Celeste. Perhaps because we know her people by name. We can picture Sarah sewing, Sophia playing, Briggs writing in the log. They are not faceless sailors. They are a family. It is this intimacy that makes the silence unbearable. The mystery is not just nautical, it is human. For more than 150 years, writers, scientists, and sailors have tried to solve her, and perhaps she has been solved. Perhaps the alcohol theory is correct. Perhaps it was all a terrible accident. But certainty is slippery. The lack of final proof is what gives the tale its endurance. We do not really want the Mary Celeste explained. We want her drifting, sails snapping, forever empty, a riddle sailing on the horizon. Stand on her deserted deck in your imagination. The rigging hums with wind, the compass points steady, the horizon stretches endless. But every door you open leads to absence. Every room whispers, they were here, and now they are gone. That is the true terror, not violence, not storm, not fire, but the void where life should be. The Mary Celeste's timbers lie broken in a Caribbean grave, but she has never truly sunk. She sails in the minds of all who hear her name. Mention her, and you conjure a ship forever underway, forever unmanned. Some mysteries fade, this one grows. The longer it remains unsolved, the more powerful it becomes. The sea keeps her secret. So we leave her where she belongs, adrift. White sails taut, wheel unmanned, logbook unfinished. A family gone, a crew vanished, a ship alive only with silence. The Mary Celeste, the ghost ship, a legend, not because of what we know, but because of what we never will.